is to change for. I change for you, even when it does not make sense. Then when we look at time frame, well, statistics have shown that most marriages break within the first 2 years. And the truth is that marriage has about 5 stages. I may not be able to run through them now. You see, the first stage of every marriage will go through. The first stage is what I call the emotional stage. That lovely stage, we just got married and everybody wants to show off. That giz feeling. I mean, that's the stage when women go out and the child wants everybody to know that I'm married. You'll be raising their left hand. When you ask her, I'm going to Bodija, and you go this way and you turn like this, all those, the thing is still shocking. Mm-hmm. But the next stage is reality stage. That is when it dawns on you, hey, the man I marry can be so disorganized, especially if he's a sanguine. Oh, he's always there. You loved him because he's a sanguine. But the other part of small sanguine is that they can be disorganized or unorganized. So when you now begin to see the reality of the spouse you married, my wife is beautiful, she's intelligent, but she's a he-goat. She can be stubborn. So when the reality now dawns, that is when a lot of people now throw in the towel. And that usually happens between the first 2 years. Most marriages break within the first 1-2 years. But if that marriage can escape the first 2 years and they can learn to overlook things and blend and change for each other, then the likelihood of that marriage breaking or failing will be low.
Okay. Right. Can separation help to solve marital issue?
Separation, yeah.
Before divorce.
Yes, it does, but it's risky. Now, it depends, especially when it comes to physical violence. I mean, physical abuse. Now, there are 3 major abuses. There is the physical one, that is when bush. There is the emotional one, that is the most common. A lot of people are going through emotional abuse in their marriages, and because nobody sees it on them. Then the verbal abuse. I mean, women are the most culprit in that. When it comes to emotional and physical, men are the most culprit. So, but you see, most times when, let me say it here again, that divorce is an option.
Okay.
But sometimes it is a better option. God says he hates divorce. No pastor, no parent, nobody likes divorce. But when life and sanity is threatened, and one person is not ready to change, then divorce may be a better option. Even though divorce itself has its cost. I mean, it's terrible. There are prices to pay for divorce. But before divorce, sometimes separation may be necessary, especially when there is physical abuse. A man keeps beating his wife, and then he comes back and begs, I'm sorry, it is the devil, so that we don't lose that life. And people say, let's be counseling him. Yeah, while we are counseling, let's remove the woman. And that is why a lot of pastors will advise, and I agree with it, that God forbid if you are married to a man that is abusive. And unfortunately, a lot of men are doing it now. You see, men don't chase women out of houses anymore. I hope you know. Yeah. You know what they do? They just pack out. They leave the house for her. When a woman is God forbid. Okay. So when a woman is married to a man that is abusive, especially physically abusive, we advise the woman should have plan B. Have a bag somewhere where you keep some of your things. At least that can last you for 2-3 days. Then have a safe house. It could be a friend's house, an auntie's house. That God forbid, the man starts again, I will kill you today. You just pick your bag and run. It is the woman that is alive that can.
Yeah.
There was a case that was brought to me some time ago that the man sleeps with a cutlass.
Mm-hmm.
He will put a cutlass by the bedside. Yeah. And then some people say, tell the woman, oh my father, that no need. We'll be praying. That one is not prayer. Run for your life first. Then when elders now come in, we will now decide whether this marriage should break off totally, or if the man or the woman could come back to their senses during the time of separation. So it is needed sometimes. We don't pray it ever gets to that. But when it gets to that point, separation can be the healing factor. Sometimes some men don't come to their senses until the woman leaves. Maybe it's the time the woman leaves that she will not come, the man will not come to his senses. What's wrong with me? So that when he now goes back to beg for the man, for the woman, he has come to his senses. In fact, there was a time I had advised the man to do that to his wife. The woman could be so stubborn. A lot of people have talked to her, and she was not listening. So I told the man, I said, threaten a divorce, threaten that you are packing out. So the man threatened, packed out. Within the 5 days that the man was not at home, the woman came to her senses. She now realized that, look, I can't do without this man. And it really saved the marriage. They are doing wonderfully well now. And the man has not divorced.
Thank God for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I also want to ask, I've heard that this saying, they said money, romance without finance will lead to annoyance. How true is it?
Yes, look, every marriage has three major pillars: communication, finances, and sex. The three of them are so important, but the other two, finances and sex, stand on communication. You see, whether we like it or not, that finance, that money, you see, no matter how romantic a man is, if money factor is not there, it will turn to annoyance. Because the thing called hunger, and then the love language for every woman is giving, not necessarily money though. So no marriage or relationship is sustainable for long without the pillar called money, finances. You see, we could start lovely. Now, I always love to tell people my story. Some viewers must have heard my story before. I got engaged to my wife when she was in 400 level, and I was in 200 level.
Wow.
I say it out.
I
know what viewers will be saying. Hey,
it's really interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of people will look at her and say, "You tried, though," and they will look at me, "Hey, Yemi, hey, you are carrying something beyond your part." But let me tell you the most interesting part. She finished before me, and she has started working. Now, I was in final year when we got married. I mean, this is something I won't advise people to do now. But you see, maybe because our faith was, I don't know. If your faith doesn't carry, I won't. But this is what I'm driving at. A lot of people were afraid for me. And I took a step of faith and know that this is it. She got married to me because she was hopeful. She believed with the little time we were engaged that even though I didn't have money in court, she realized that I was a giver, I was a visionary, I had vision, I had plans and all that. And to God's glory, we got married, and then the finances began to grow. But the truth is, if the finances weren't growing, it does not mean that she's not a good girl. One day she will spark. It doesn't mean she's an unbeliever. One day she will spark. Because everybody has a limit to pain threshold. And for every woman, even men too. You see, that is why you see a lot of men will just get angry. Imagine they have not paid salary for 2 months. He does not have money. They just send the child home, and then he gets home, and the wife is saying, my mother-in-law, mother-in-law. He will just spark. And then you'll be like, can he call himself born again? It's not as if he's not born again. But the moment the money factor is deficient, any of us will change. The marriage will suffer. Marriage is meant to be enjoyed, not endured. So when finances is lacking, it becomes an endurance, and then every endurance has a limit.
Emac Online TV is here to provide you with opportunities to showcase your talents, business to the wide world. Are you a minister, music artist, comedian, school owner, business owner, and so on? Call or WhatsApp our marketing department on 080-5359-0094 or 081-040240.